Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two Dudes, One Car. And if you haven't watched the video, please go and watch it right now. You'll enjoy it. The original, not the Two Dudes, One Car, Two Girls, One Cup. We're talking about, of course, with me, one of the dudes, Parker. Parker from Vehicle Virgins. Parker, it's so good to have you. It's
likewise, man.
Not only have you here and be a part of the podcast, this is something new that we're doing. I think everybody needs a little bit of context. And we were saying, we need to start a podcast, something outrageous, something fun, something that includes a lot of knowledge, something that includes a lot of stupidity. In the car world, it's a little stale. It's just a little in a limbo type of thing. And we want to spice it up a little bit. And I think we have the recipe right here. These two dudes in one car have the recipe. I know we're not in one car right now, but at some point we will be.
Yeah, and we came up with this name. I came up with it about 5 seconds ago.
You did.
So it's a working title, but it seems like I feel like it might be good.
It's right. I think it's right. I think it's right. And listen, we're just going to talk about cars, but, forget about that. We want to talk about cars. We want to do a podcast, and we're going to be doing probably. This is what we're aiming for. This is the first time we're doing this, so no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But right now, we want to have 2 of these a week. Hopefully, we're aiming for 30 minutes each, and then one will be on my channel on Salomondrin, and one will be on your channel, Vehicle Virgins.
Yep.
And speaking of Vehicle Virgins, I think for the sake of it, let's start. I know you're very famous, Parker. I know you get a lot of views. I know you do all these things. So I want to ask you.
Totally.
Listen, we're going back to origin stories.
Sure.
And you better not give me a fucking Venom type of story, like a real one. What made you start YouTube? And I know the story, obviously, because I used to watch your channel when you started it all the way to now. So it's been.
I didn't even know that.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been a journey.
But I want to know. What made you start, for everyone's sake, what made you start on YouTube?
I wish I had some crazy supervillain backstory.
That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine? Just some never heard before. Just
the reality
I got electrocuted one day, and all of a sudden I had a vlog camera growing out of my hand.
A car bit you.
Yeah.
And then you became
and then it became a car.
Exactly. That's what happened.
I mean, I've always been a car enthusiast. My dad's been into cars his whole life.
Your dad's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I've read that.
He's funding the whole podcast.
I've read that. Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
I wish. That's a crazy narrative.
There's a lot of cool narratives.
There are some cool
about
cool
everyone,
narratives.
by the way. But there's some good ones about us.
I mean, at one point, Farshad was my dad. I don't. It just gets wild.
It's all over the place. But I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's all good. So always watched Top Gear growing up. That was kind of my dream. It was like, damn, being Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear. I think the coolest, we were talking about before the podcast, the coolest part about Top Gear was it wasn't just car content. It was friends hanging out, having fun, laughing, and then there was cars involved.
That's the formula, dude.
Yeah.
That's the secret sauce to everything. And that's what no one understands. It's not about the cars. It's about that bond. Even my wife used to love watching Top Gear because
100%.
They were so silly and doing so many retarded things. It was so much fun. So you grew up watching Top Gear.
Yeah, so I was watching Top Gear. I was reading car magazines to the point where people were like, haven't seen you have a girlfriend yet in high school. Like, are you dating cars or what?
Why are you jerking up in the bathroom with a car magazine?
You go into the bathroom for like 2.5 hours with 4 Motor Trend articles. It's a little weird. But
it's what happens. It's okay, kids. It's okay.
I grew up filming snowboard videos. So me and my friends were all crazy, like extreme sports idiots until every single one of us had a near fatal accident. We're like, wow, we're not invincible. We thought we were. And, I hit this X Games Red Bull jump and just annihilated myself.
You did?
It was like 65 feet from the start of the lip to the start of the landing. And I did it the first time. It was fine. And then the second time, I didn't think I could clear it, so I tried to stop. So, to stop, you go
huge
sideways
mistake, son.
on my snowboard. Went off anyways, completely parallel. Boom, destroyed my back. And then I was like, wow, this is crazy. I should probably not do that ever again.
So let me ask you something. Did you see your life flash before your eyes?
No. Unfortunately, it was a horrendous accident. Didn't get that.
Have you never had that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wow. I did.
Really?
I had, and by the way, it was the stupidest thing. I was walking down a hill, and as I was walking down a hill, I didn't see that he just had a drop off.
Oh, geez.
And I just continued running the drop off, and I was able to do that. But as I was going down, my entire life flashed before my eyes. I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm for sure gonna die.
Damn.
And then I had another one. I'm pretty sure this is my third life, and we'll get into dimensions some other time. But I also had another one where someone was pulling out of a garage, and I was driving really fast through a red light. Sadly, this is a long time ago. And whoever was going, I literally closed my eyes and and I just hang on to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. But my life flashed before my eyes as the
Damn.
guy was like getting close. But nothing happened. I'm pretty sure I died that day, and this is just another life. Either way, I'm sorry. Go on. So
that is wild.
You were filming your awesome X game videos.
Yeah. So that was like, at a certain point, our dream was all to become professional snowboarders and skiers and make these Warren Miller-esque Teton gravity research films. So I learned how to film with, at the time, there was a Contour HD. It was like pre-GoPro.
Contour HD. Now, this is old school,
and the crazy part is when the GoPro came out, I remember vividly thinking, that's dumb, it looks stupid, and that's not gonna work.
Get out of here.
And I literally, because the Contour was sleeker, it was like this, like, I don't know, it looked cooler.
Okay.
And so I'm like, no, Contour is gonna win, and I couldn't have been further. I could have been more wrong.
Bad call.
And now, like, basically, the majority of my videos are filmed on GoPro, so thank you for that invention. But I learned how to edit and film doing ski films, basically. Okay. And we torrented, back when that was a thing, a version of Final Cut Pro for free. And it was to the point where we had to turn off Wi-Fi to open the program. Yeah. Because if you had Wi-Fi on, it would know that it was not a real copy of Final Cut. Yeah. So enough people asked me in high school, what should I get for my first car? They knew I was the car nerd. And they're like, all right, I've got $5,000 that I saved up. Or, I mean, some kids, I grew up in Northern California in Marin. Some kids were like, yeah, I got $65,000 from
I only have $1 million. What car can I buy, Parker?
They said M3 or M5, and I don't know what to do. But people kept asking me questions one-on-one, and I'm like, all right, I feel like a lot of people have no idea what you can get, particularly depreciated used cars, instead of getting something new that's just going to tank off the lot. And so I started a written website in 2011, some form of vehicle versions. There was like a dash and a colon because some parts website or something had vehicle versions, which was wild to me. I honestly want to Google that now and see if that website still exists. But I was doing written articles where I would go to a dealership. I was like 17 or 16 with my mom, pretending this was my first car, and me and my mom would go out on a test drive, and then I'd write a little article about the 2003
the hustle,
Sienna.
Dude. Crazy, right? You're not even thinking like you're doing a job, but you
are. No,
it was just like having fun.
It was fun because it was like, all right, this is the level of cars I can get approved by a dealership. Hell yeah, I'm going to do it and do my mini Top Gear. And then eventually I'm like, all right, getting people to a website is a lot harder than getting people who are already on YouTube just to your page on YouTube. So I put a iPhone 3G or something, put it in between a headrest and smashed the headrest down so it held the camera, and then just did this one-take car review. And just started from there. I think then I was like, all right, I got to stop doing this, like having my mom come along pretending that this is my like first $3,000 car. So I went to like 10 different dealerships, literally, and the first 9 were like, no, you're not driving our cars for your like high school project. And then the first one.
And by the way, it was way harder back then for kids and for an unknown to show up to a dealership, but it was also easier on the other side. Like if they knew you already, it was like, dude, take the fucking car. No one cares, because they didn't understand what YouTube was back then.
Yeah, exactly.
So you saw the other side of it, but also you were really young, dude. I remember those
that
videos.
was a big uphill battle. Was like, I look like I can't
like a fucking
operate
baby.
a motor vehicle.
Yes,
trust me with your property. And this one dealership, I remember I went in and this like sales manager was like, nah, like we're not interested. And I was like, is the general manager here? And he's like, oh, hold on one second. And then that guy just was like, oh, I love this idea. Yeah, sure. And I remember he gave me the keys to like a Kia Soul, I think. And then later a Scion FRS. And I remember we just walking past the sales manager who said like, get out of here, basically. And I was like, I've got a Kia Soul. So.
You can suck my balls, son. I got a Kia Soul, and I'm ready to go.
So basically just started posting, consumer reviews on these cars. And my real goal was to drive cooler cars because I've always loved sports cars.
So hang on. So when you started, you were like from the start, my plan is I'm going to start with these because I have to, and then I'll get to the cooler
so
cars.
Vehicle Virgins was about first-time car buying advice, hence the Virgins part.
100%.
But my passion was for the higher-end stuff. It just wasn't. A lot of people ask me, they're like, "Oh, I want to review cars, but like I don't have a Ferrari I can review." It's like I did not have that. I started
it's totally. By the way, it's totally different. Also, back then, it wasn't saturated like it is right now.
Yeah. And nobody really knew what was happening. Like coming in and saying I was going to make a YouTube video, and then here's this GoPro thing. They didn't.
Yeah, no one understood.
The concept didn't really make any sense.
No.
But then eventually, like there was always these pivotal moments. Like somebody let me drive a C6 Corvette, and it got 10,000 views or something, and I took that video and showed it to another dealership. Here, this guy trusted me with a Corvette, and it got this exposure. Can you give me this? And then it kind of worked its way up to.
So, by the way, that for everyone watching, that's a great lesson about how to grow something. Everybody thinks and always aims for the Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere, show experience, show growth, and then use that to be able to grow your shit.
100%.
I don't understand what the new culture is right now, where they want instant fucking gratification on everything. I want to be able to do this, but I want to start from the top. Calm the fuck down, Michael Jackson. You ain't started from the top. Take it easy. So let me ask you something about that's an awesome origin story, by the way. Way better than mine. Mine's fucking lame as fuck. Let me ask you something. Do you regret now the Vehicle Virgin's name, or are you now at the point where you're like, I like this, and this is something that I'm moving forward with because I love it, and that's where I started? How do you look at it now?
I think there was a period maybe when it was growing 3 or 4 years in where I was like, oh man, like I don't know if that was the right call.
Because people were like,
some people are like, is that a porn site or what?
Yeah.
What is that? But at this point, no. I mean, I'm stoked on the name. It is what it is. I came up with it when I was like 16 or 17, and it's just my brand, and I don't regret it at all.
Because at some point, you'll be two dudes, one car.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then you'll
So
be
now
like,
it's
"Man,
actually gotten worse.
fuck.
What have I done? First Vehicle Virgins, now this is just going downhill.
You went from a virgin to two dudes, one car.
Yeah.
And if people
I'm
know
cool
what
with
the
it, though.
original
It's all
video
right.
is, please don't link it in the comments. We beg you, do not.
100%. We can't get demonetized before we even start.
Before you even getting monetized.
Yeah. So that was kind of my journey. Then I started, I was just doing reviews, and then I'm like, what if I try how to drive a manual tutorial video? And what if I gave advice on how to drive and whatnot?
That had like 5 million views.
Yeah,
or
it did,
10 million views.
It did
was
really
crazy.
well. And then started vlogging, which was kind of fun. Did that for a while. Now I'm a little bit more back into the reviews. But
you also had and I want to touch on that. You also had like a let's talk about cars type of thing.
I
so
did,
when I came up with it, you were like, the fuck? This guy is talking about cars? I used to talk about cars too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember,
It was like
that moment in time.
It was conversations about cars in cars. It was
I think so, yeah. It was like a very
yeah. So it's like, it was an OG mobile podcast, and then you've got your Let's Talk About Cars. So now we've got an immobile podcast here, both us and.
We'll make it mobile.
Yeah,
we just need it. Listen, we have Teslas, we have Rivians, we have cars that will drive themselves eventually. Like, actually, it's pretty close now.
Yeah. I think we should just put this on wheels and go down the street.
I think, by the way, it's not going to be far-fetched. Remember, like, 5 years, no, I want to say 6 years ago when they started to show cars in the concepts that they were going to drive themselves that basically were like vans with nothing but like a living room area type of space, kind of like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to be there before you know it. And then we're going to be shooting this. I'll be getting stoned as fuck. And then
I just went to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Super awesome. And lots of vans with living rooms in them.
Right.
And they are going to be real production vehicles eventually.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If you can just be in the car instead of just like driving like an idiot for an hour and paying attention. Listen, when you want to drive a car, because a lot of people are like, oh, I am against cars and drive themselves. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck? I want to get fucked up, come out of the club or come out of the restaurant because I'm too old to go to a club. But I want to get out of the restaurant at 5:30 p.m. shit-faced because that's how old like I am. I want to get out at 5:30 p.m. shit-faced and not tell my wife to have to drive me. I want to be like, Tesla, take me home. And then my Tesla just knows what to do. And it'll fucking take me home and drop me off at home. And then my Optimus robot's going to pick me up from the car, bring me to the bed, put me inside, put my pajamas on, and it'll be great.
We're turning into Wall-E. We're all going to be
almost
we're
there.
all going to be in our freaking robot chairs that just do everything for us.
It's almost there, dude.
And he's talking about there's this AI program that basically can move our lips for us. Like, I don't even know if you guys realize we're not doing this podcast right now. We took pictures of ourselves. I sent him a photo, and this is all
This is
CGI.
AI generated,
Yeah.
absolutely. So good for you guys.
I'm in my bed right now.
You guys are watching the first artificial intelligence podcast generated in the history of the world while Parker jerks off. It's
I don't know
incredible.
how Sergio did that. Sorry you had to watch the like raw footage.
That's right.
But
Oh my God.
all right, so how did you one tidbit before that, because when you came on to YouTube, I also vividly remember showing my dad your like Wyra delivery video, and I just went, I'm fucked. This guy just came on, made the most hilarious video, and he's got a goddamn Pagani. What am I gonna do? And he just goes, I don't know.
He's like, Parker,
He's like, just wrap it up now.
just
over.
go to school, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention in college and make sure to get straight A's. I understand.
I accomplished that. I did get a degree.
You also did.
Yeah.
You did go to college. You got
Yeah.
your degree.
Yeah, mechanical engineering
Yeah.
from Michigan.
That
was
this is why
brutal.
it's interesting, because you know what you're talking about. I don't. I just get in the fucking car and that's that.
You know, other than one or two classes, I took like an internal combustion engines class where it was relevant to cars, but then it's breaking it down to mathematical equations of how combustion works. Pretty much none of it was directly relevant to cars.
What you do.
But like, I mean, you know, but it taught me mostly how to work hard. So like the period where my channel was doing the best before I just burned out and was like, what am I doing with my life?
Happens to
2016,
everyone.
17,
Yeah.
18, I was filming 7 videos a week because I was used to going to college all day, doing 5 hours of homework, and then doing vehicle versions for 5 hours, and then going to sleep and doing that every single day.
Can I tell you something? The fucking pandemic absolutely fucked us all, because it took away that rhythm
Yeah.
from us, and from us that were like, because I used to be on all day, every fucking day. And you take that away from a human, dude, you lose that muscle. It's a muscle in your brain. Now that
100%.
they actually discovered there's a part in your brain that gets bigger the more you do shit that you're, whenever you do something that you don't want to do, like working out, like working hard, like whatever it is. And we lose that. So, yeah,
I think we're creatures of habit. When you get into the rat race of doing videos every single day, that's just all you know.
Yeah.
And it can be, I look back on that period, and it was both the most exciting period because you're always trying to come up with the next thing, while also like kind of the most stressful and chaotic.
That's what no one understands too,
I never
right?
know, do I want to do that again, or was that the worst idea ever for me mentally and physically?
Are you still undecided?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm always undecided.
To me, is fuck it. I'm jumping all in. I'm going fucking crazy.
It's
I'm
probably the right
crushing
move.
it. That's what I'm doing right now.
All right, we're going.
Fuck
We're back
this.
in.
Fuck yeah, we're going all in. We're at the casino. We're putting all of our chips on the table and going all in.
I did that at CES. Didn't
That's-
work. The damn Mandalay Bay just took it all.
They'll take all of your money.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I had to Uber here.
It's broke vehicle virgins now after Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, you
No,
just make
thankfully,
3 videos.
I
You'll be
really
good.
can't. I hate gambling. Like I didn't lose. Well, it's all relative, but I think I lost $500 or something, and that to me is like the most disgusting, soul crushing thing. Winning 500 is like, oh, that's cool, but losing it, it could be like $5. It just feels like I was shot
like
in the
absolute
heart.
shit.
Yeah.
But I think if you go into it, because I'm a degenerate in many different things. My gambling now, the casino is like the stock market. I get off on fucking this anything, anytime. And Sergio knows.
That
Poor
sounds
Sergio has
healthy.
to live through all of my trades, and I tell him all about it. And he's like, great, dude, that's awesome. Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude. And then I put more money into this one, and then he collapsed. But then on this one, yeah. And so I understand, from degenerate to degenerate, the best thing to do if you go to Vegas is I go with $1,000.
Yeah,
let's say.
and that's it.
I go with $1,000, and that's my rent for the casino time. That's
Yeah,
the way I look
yeah.
at it. And those $1,000, I am an idiot, so I play them at first to let me know what the pace of the trip will be. And now this is when I go to work, not when I go to have fun.
Yeah.
Because I never go to Vegas to have fun. Fuck
Same.
that.
It's always on some work-related thing, and
Who
you're like,
goes
all right,
to Vegas to have fun? Dude, he's the asshole of the world. You can go have fun here. That is either way.
That's a recipe for disaster.
I'm not getting into the Vegas thing, yes. So I go in with $1,000 and I go and play into the roulette. And I play against the table. So what does that mean? When the table has like 7 blacks that came out and not like the big dick blacks, just like black numbers, I put all thank you. I put all of my money on red. So the $1,000 straight up.
Oh my!
I go in, put 1,000 on red, and hope that fucking thing is gonna change. And I swear to God, 7 out of 10, I get I'll get the different one.
Yeah.
So when I get that, I'll save my $1,000, and then I'll start playing the field on the roulette, and then I'll start going into.
Wait,
other
so you already
places.
lost 1,000 then?
No, I won because
you won.
70% check. Yeah.
Yeah. 49, but sure.
You do. You play the odds when you have something that's come out so many times on the same table, and that's what I walk. I walk around looking at like mountains of red or mountains of black, and like I said, not black dick, but just like on the table. So once I find those, I go and bet against it.
Yeah, even though that makes no difference.
No,
It's like flipping a coin. It could be tails 50 times. The next
maybe
one
it is, but I'll tell you,
odds.
for me, it's worked out.
All right, yeah, because
me-
it hasn't worked out for me, and I do it very mathematically, and
I
it
think
doesn't
that's
work.
why.
So I think I need to
Because
do
you
something dumb like
The
that.
problem is you're actually calculating.
Yeah.
When you are just a fucking idiot and you don't care, it probably works out better because it makes no sense.
So on the next podcast, where I also don't have a home to live in after a trip to Vegas, we'll we'll let you know how that went.
So I go in and I bet on the next, and then I save what. Let's say I win, and when I win, I just put my $1,000 in my pocket and I go play the field.
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
I lose, no more playing casino for Alejandro all that weekend.
Really, just
Yeah.
one and done.
One and done.
All right,
Because then
that's
what's
smart.
the fucking point?
Yeah.
You already did that. You know what your luck's going to be from the start. That's at least how I look at it. So if I come in and I lose, I'm done. But if I come in and I win, hell yeah, son. I'll continue to play. And normally when you do and you win, you continue to win. I don't understand why. I think it's just streaks of luck, whatever.
Yeah,
and by the way,
that doesn't
not a
happen to
big
me.
gambler. I just do like my little amounts and whatever because it's fucking stupid. But it's fun. And then you're with all the people smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, looking at the poor ladies that are 60 years old showing their tits to bring you the drinks. Like, it's quite a thing. So
It's a spectacle.
I like the spectacle. I am a spectacle guy.
I had,
So-
and then we'll move on because this is crazy.
Tell me.
But one time, I used to live in Michigan. I went to the MGM Detroit Casino, and this lady sits down next to us. Do you play blackjack at all?
Yeah.
Ever? There's always these
Yeah.
like wild bets where it's like a suited blah 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 or a buster thing.
Uh-huh.
And this lady comes up and she goes, "Sure hope this hits. This is my rent money. After this, it's over." And she puts
What?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, I don't.
And
wanna-
by the way, what an energy she's
yeah.
bringing to the
So
table.
we're like already
I-
like, all right, this is like, is this what I should be doing with my time? And then she comes in with like a existential crisis, and then puts like $700 on one of those random like buster things, and then like minimum bets on the normal bet, and they're drawing the cards, and I'm like, I'm about to watch this woman just lose her life, and she
And
hits.
she's probably going to kill herself.
Nah, yeah, exactly. And she hits and just loses it. And we're all like, yeah, like we just became best friends. And then she cashed out and left. It was like,
What the
Yeah.
fuck? I would have shit myself.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
wild.
No, you should never bet. No one should ever bet everything or nothing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely.
I got to give her props, though. That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you guys bang her? I'm just kidding. Just as a thank you. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
as a show of your appreciation, I would have been like, lady, listen, you're busted, but I'll do you. You had a pretty good night. I'll do you to compliment it. You know? By the way, I'm throwing roses at myself, too. Like, it's going to be a good experience. My wife probably can come over here and be like, no, that would be a bad night for me. But
Yeah.
to each
Win
their
some,
own.
you lose some, I
To
guess,
eat,
yeah.
you win some, you lose some.
Jesus. Speaking of Vegas, did you go to the Vegas F1?
I did. I loved it, dude.
Yeah,
I thought, by the way, I got there the second day, so I missed out FP1 when everybody was like, oh, I wanted to watch FP1 and I paid for it, and then the fucking the sewer thing came up and
Yeah,
destroyed
yeah.
Carlos Sainz's car. Yeah.
I showed up the day after that as well.
It was awesome.
Good timing.
Yeah. The event was great, no?
I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
Perfection.
The only thing and I don't think it's fixable, is that in Miami and Circuit of the Americas, it's this one big campus, so you can kind of roam around and see the cars from different angles. It's all connected.
I see what
but
you're
in
saying.
Vegas, because of the buildings and the casinos, it's all kind of truncated. So you are where you are, where your seats are.
But I feel like, not to compare it because it's not the same, but Monaco's also the same.
It is like that.
So
Yeah.
In a way, it's not a different experience from everything. And in Vegas, you just have so much infrastructure. I remember just walking around. I just remember walking around and asking everyone, like all the help people, and they all knew where to go and where not to go.
The volunteer staff was super helpful.
Fucking incredible. And by the way, that doesn't happen everywhere in the world. That was like really well put together. They had like their fiasco night the first night. But that's the thing that happens when you start something brand new in a brand new place, and it's the first time you're doing it and shutting down the streets in Vegas, where every degenerate is begging to go to the casino so that they can fucking put their rent money clearly into black or white, whatever it is.
I think there was just, hate because it was different. But the actual race was super entertaining.
The race was incredible.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Same. I almost got into a fight with a woman there, but yeah.
That would have been.
By the way, I thought, have you ever been like where a woman is attacking you and you're like, fuck, I'm going to have to fight this girl? No. Have you never been in that position? I've never been until this time. And I remember just thinking as I'm walking away from it, like, I can't believe I'm going to be the guy in TikTok that gets replayed for knocking out a woman.
No.
She was just like going nuts, and I just kept walking, and all the people that were walking next to me were like, what the fuck is up with her? Because she just kept going and going and going.
Was she physically hitting you?
No, but that was my fear.
Yeah.
That she was going to, because she was so crazy and drunk. This is the craziest thing. I was just standing in the middle of the casino because I was just drinking, and I was like, I just want to drink before I go upstairs, and I was fucked up. And as I'm drinking, some guy comes over to me and goes like, dude, can I take a picture with you? In Spanish. I'm like, yeah, what's your name? And when I asked him his name, he looked at me like, I was like, what's your name? So he tells me his name, whatever. Take a picture. I'm like, dude, great to meet you, whatever. He goes, dude, let me buy you something. Let me buy you another drink. I'm like, nah, I'm too fucked up. He goes, what can I buy you? I was like, I don't know. Fucking get me a cigarette. He goes, I'll buy you a pack. I'm like, all right. So we go into the store right here, gets me a pack of cigarettes. As I'm walking out, just walking, this girl is like backing out wasted. You know when you're drunk, you cannot tell when people are drunk?
Yeah.
And you could tell that she was wasted. So she must have been like quite inebriated. Yeah. So this woman's backing up to me, and she's got a phone in her hand, and I'm just walking. And what happened was I literally, with my right hand, I smacked her phone, and it fell. So as a Mexican gentleman, I'll attribute that to that. I'll go and pick up the phone. And as I go pick up the phone, she starts yelling at me, whoa, the fuck are you doing? And I give her her phone, and I go, I'm sorry. And she goes, watch how you fucking walk, you idiot. And I go, okay. And I just continue to walk because I was like, I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And she just started yelling at me like, what is your problem? And there was like a group of people just walking out, and they were all like, what the fuck is up with her? I was like, I've never met her in my life. I don't know. I don't know. And as I kept walking, she just kept coming next to me.
Dang.
And I was like, dude, she's going to punch me. And I'll let her punch me once.
So did you just start running?
And I'll tell her, and at that point, I'll tell her, if you punch me again, I'll fucking knock your teeth out. Because I'm a feminist. I believe in equality. And the equality is, you fuck with me, I fuck with you. Try me. I know a lot of people.
How physically?
Oh, she was quite a big.
Yeah.
By the way, people would have been like
you
this
could have
dude,
lost.
David against Goliath. And I would have been David in that scenario. It would have been a big fall. People would have heard it everywhere. The casino probably would have come down. The hotel.
Damn.
Have you seen the explosions in Vegas?
Yeah.
That's kind of what
would
have happened. Well, that would have happened. So I just kept walking, and then she stopped. But for a second there, I was like, I might have to knock out this person if she attacks me because she's so big. Like, she legitimately could have just eaten me alive, like a little burrito. And I
See, that's not happening at Monaco F1. This is Vegas F1 exclusive.
But you see, that's Vegas.
Yeah.
You could tell that's Vegas.
That's excitement. I'm glad nothing happened because obviously that'd be horrible, but that's crazy. Yeah.
Because that would be horrible.
Unsurprising.
That's a fucked up thing, right?
Yeah.
That it's not surprising. I agree. God damn it, Parker. God damn it.
So question for you, because I feel like sometimes YouTube does not the best job at letting people know when you're posting and where you're posting. Where are you posting your content? How often? Because one of the questions I get is like, oh, you're still making YouTube videos? You know, do you ever have people come up to you and ask that? Oh, did you
dude, of
quit,
course.
Or are you back in it?
For so
you're
many-
you're freaking on it now. You're making.
For so many different things. I'm now making videos. I'm posting them on YouTube on my English and Spanish channel because I have an English channel, Salomondrin, I have it, which is where people are watching this shit probably. And the other one in Spanish is Salomundo, which is a joke on Telemundo, which is the same content just in Spanish. No AI. Sergio and I have to do everything twice.
I'm jealous.
A lot of people
I
ask
wish I
that.
could speak Spanish or
Yeah.
Chinese or something. Capitalize on a different market.
But also, I have I'm not saying a big YouTube, Instagram page, but I have like 3 million followers
it's
on
definitely a
Instagram.
big Instagram page,
It's
yeah.
good. I have almost 4 million on Facebook. So I use a little bit of everything. TikTok I fucking hate, but I'm still like almost getting to 700,000 on TikTok, but I don't put any value to it because I feel like anyone can get anything on TikTok. As long as you post on TikTok, people will find it.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. But I like to be everywhere. And mostly people ask me that, like, where you post, how often do you post? And I've always just freestyled it.
Yeah.
It's something we were talking about before. I've always freestyled it. Whenever I feel like posting, I feel like posting. Whenever I don't, I feel like don't. Because the hustle of it can fuck you up.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people, they'll never admit it or anything, but the hustle of posting on social media will fucking destroy you. So if you don't take control over when I'm doing it, and I'm basically, instead of feeling like you're in a whirlpool, a rat race or the rat race, as long as you don't feel like you're obligated by the rat race and you're just doing it on your own, it's great. But at the same time, there's got to be a balance where you need to be consistent.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing. So right now, I feel like I'm so old that I got that. I got that down. I'm now figuring out a schedule with Sergio so that we can post on YouTube, on all of the other stuff. And it's mostly YouTube really what takes our time, because posting on Instagram fucking takes me 30 seconds. Posting on TikTok, same shit. Like whatever you're going through, same thing on Facebook. But on YouTube, whatever we post, we're creating a schedule now, and I better be creative. And if I'm not creative, I will come out with shit content, and I'm fine with putting out shit content, but knowing it's shit content, and then I don't know what that'll do to me, because I've never felt like giving me the liberty of doing that. So we'll see where that goes. What about you?
I'd say I'm trying to post maybe 3 times a week on YouTube. On Vehicle Virgins.
That's my goal now.
Yeah, and because that feels to me like a manageable level of hustling.
Yeah.
Because, at one point it was 7, which unfortunately with the YouTube algorithm and the rat race thing, that does work. It really does help everything.
You post 7 days a week, YouTube will fucking push you up
but
like a motherfucker.
It's kind of unhealthy. So I feel like 3 is fair, allows creativity, allows you to enjoy the process and whatnot. And then I'll do like 3. Do you have a Snap show? I
don't do Snapchat, but you were telling me that you do.
Yeah. So Snapchat's pretty sick. It's like a 3 to 5 minute episode, basically like a YouTube video, but it has to be vertical.
Yeah.
And so I post on that. Then I usually repost those exact clips onto Facebook as long form videos.
Oh, sweet.
And then short form reels and stuff on Instagram.
It's so hard. Fucking.
There's so many different things. And TikTok, I'll do like a minute long, because now TikTok will pay you if it's over 60 seconds, like an okay CPM.
They pay?
Yeah. If you do like a 61-second video, it's nothing like YouTube or anything, but I think it's easier to get views. I mean, it's like maybe $1,000 for 1 million views on TikTok.
That is fucking
versus
what?
Before I had a video on TikTok.
Parker,
before
you understand how rich I can become on TikTok doing that shit?
Yeah. No, like before on TikTok, I have videos with 20 million, 30 million views, and it's like, oh, you get 3 cents.
And now he pays $1,000 a million?
If you have it over 60 seconds long, yeah.
All right,
So,
time to make 60-second long videos, Sergio.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, so we can wrap this up before going into the second part, which will be hosted on your channel.
Cool.
I'll answer my origin story and where it comes from. So why I started on YouTube and why you started seeing a fucking idiot with a wire there was I've always, first of all, I'm a filmmaker. I did that for a career since 2005, basically, and on. And I want to say I was very good at it, but not like extremely successful. But believe it or not, between Brad Pitt and someone that does nothing, there's a lot of in-betweens, right? Like between the lawyer that makes $30 million a year and the lawyer that makes 20 grand a year, there's many lawyers making $1 million that no one's ever heard about.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that for on the film side. But it was always shit that I had to do for other people. So at some point, I can't remember. My business partner, the one I was telling you about with the headphones. My business partner, I was talking to him and I was like, dude, I was watching this YouTube video on this phone that I really want. And the guy presenting it was so boring. Anyone that makes a joke or two would get 1 million views. This guy's an idiot and he got almost 500,000 views. And my friend goes, you can't, I bet you can't do that. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, it's not that easy. You can't do that. I was like, how much you want to bet that if I make a couple jokes, I can get 1,000 views? And he goes, $5. So we bet $5 that I could get, like, he was like against me that I could get 1,000 views. And I was like, I can get 1,000 views. So I made a phone video and I made jokes on it and whatnot and got 37,000 views. I remember specifically in like 2 days.
What are we talking?
You're talking about 2007, 8.
Wow.
Oh, this is old school, son.
Yeah, yeah.
Before anybody else jumped on the YouTube train. So when I get that, I go and tell him, like, dude, this is what I got. Never paid me. Never. Fucking motherfucker's a billionaire. Never paid me. I was
not
like,
$5.
Oh,
yeah,
not
nice.
$5. Never paid me. Still till today. I messaged him, doesn't reply probably because of that. No. And he didn't pay me. But what I noticed was in the comments, a lot of people were really curious about different things of what I was talking about. So I picked the most interesting comments to me, and I made a video about them. And they all blew the fuck up. And I was like, what the fuck? This is incredible. And then I started being mentioned on blogs and like technology blogs and all this shit. I was like,
wow,
holy fuck, there's something here. And long story short, I created actually a massive following. I became like the top 3 largest tech channels at the time talking about phones. Crazy, but you couldn't monetize anything. It was me, John Geringer from Techno Buffalo at the time.
Sounds familiar.
I think so. And like Crackberry and Boy Genius, Jonathan, who I like Jonathan a lot. And so all of us were doing this and we were getting massive views. And YouTube was so much simpler.
Yeah.
It was a website with one page, and then the top videos that got the most views in 24 hours around the world would make it to the top. And all of my videos would make it top 1, top 2.
No way.
Oh, fuck. At some point, I was like 500,000 a day, baby. 500,000 a day. But remember, there's no competition. There's not a lot of people doing this shit. So I was doing that in my off time while I was doing productions. And then at some point, I was like, well, this is not paying me. It's creating a lot of distraction. I'm just going to leave it alone. But before I left it alone, I made a video. I bought myself an Aston Martin DBS. That was my first DBS, one of the first supercars I got. Mm-hmm. And I made a video on it, like the 5 worst things about having a supercar. And this was before any car bullshit, right? And one of them was like, it's too low, so when I come out of the garage, like the type of thing where no one had seen that. And that video blew up. And people were like, you should make car videos. I was like, ignored it forever. And then let it die. I left it alone. I continued to do my movies. I got into real estate. I fucking killed it. And when I finally got myself like a budget to buy crazy shit, which by the way, at the same time in parallel, I was doing Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram was blowing up, but Instagram used to be like my outlet for my friends. Like I used to be raw and I still now, I want to say I still remain original and true to myself. I still am disgusting and I don't give a fuck about anything. It is what it is. And my manager, because now I have a manager, is so important.
Dang.
My manager will message me. He's like, Ale, please take this down. I'm like, no, this is me. This is me and people need to know. She's like, oh, fuck me. People don't need to know this. I'm like, no, they need to know about my erection, Pati, okay? It's fine. And she's like, Jesus Christ, not happy at all. But it is what it is. So,
I needed to know.
I know. It's important. So,
It gets me through the day.
so at some point from the Instagram, I was like, you know what? I got some really cool cars coming. I want to show them to people. But beyond showing them to people, at that point, I was like, I'm going to be able to like get views on the cars because they're going to be cool. But I want to do a Top Gear style show because to me, cars came through Top Gear.
Yeah,
I
of
grew up
course.
Dude, I grew up watching that shit, and I was like, this is the most, in Fifth Gear.
Yep.
I was like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I hope one day I can do that. And eventually, I was like, you have money to have all these cars. You have money to do the production. You have the knowledge of how to make the production. And you also have the knowledge on YouTube. You should combine it all together and fucking blow away people. So my thought was, I'm going to reactivate myself on YouTube so that I can make a crazy show, but I didn't want to do it with me on. I was going to hire Chris Harris.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck
Wow, I
yeah,
didn't know
for
that.
Hyper 5.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking the first thing I want to do is Hyper 5. I'm going to bring a fucking balls to the wall presenter.
Sure.
So I'm going to bring Chris Harris. And I messaged Chris, and I was like, I have a Pagani Huayra, I have a 918, and I have a LaFerrari in this. I know you want to make that video. Would you want to be the host of it? And Chris replied to me, like, he was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. But I need to publish it on my channel. And I'm like, fuck, how am I going to do this? I was like, interesting. Let me think about that. And while I'm thinking about it, I decided, you know what? I'm going to open my YouTube channel and see if people like me. Because if people like me, like they did with the phones, maybe I can do it on my own. So I started doing my own videos, and people, maybe they didn't like me, but they liked the videos. And I was like, all right, I can go back and tell Chris, hey, Chris, maybe we can do it on my channel or whatever. He's like, no, I'll do it on my channel or I'm not doing it. I was like, listen, I love you, motherfucker, but I want to keep this one. So I decided I was going to do it on my own. So I opened my channel, had all these videos come out, and then eventually I got to the point where I was ready to shoot Hyper 5, which I spent $100,000 dollars, probably more, doing that. Because back then, small cameras weren't available and all that. You know, it was different. So I did that, and that video changed my life. After that video, everything has changed. People were like, oh, this is the idiot that I saw on YouTube, to like people shaking and going like, oh, I can't believe this guy made this. Oh,
It was
incredible.
a really, really good video.
I
Genuinely.
appreciate that.
And that was kind of the video that everyone wanted to make but couldn't make because none of those
even Top Gear.
manufacturers would allow it.
Yeah.
You know, Ferrari is not going to want you to put their LaFerrari against a McLaren P1 against a 918, and you procured all those cars.
And at that point, I also understood what based on my film knowledge, right, of everything and doing copyright and clearing all of the rights for something.
Yeah.
I was like, if these guys are the major obstacle, you just got to go private. You just get something from someone that's a private customer, and you just do it.
And doing it at Thermal. I mean, that I wouldn't say it put the place on the map, but in my eyes, it did. It was like, wow, look at this sanctuary out in the middle of the desert with the prettiest racetrack I've ever seen. And then you've got these ridiculous cars.
I was
around.
hoping I could get it for free, but they charged me every single penny, and then they charged me for meals and everything. I was like, holy fuck, I thought this would be a service to you guys. And then they were like, the whole time, they were like, fuck you, we barely want you to film. I had to film everything in like 4 hours. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh,
wow.
dude, it was fucking nuts. Because they kept changing it, and they were like, this is a mistake. We're letting a fucking idiot shoot something for YouTube. This is disgusting, whatever.
Yeah.
So as soon as I left and the video blew up, they called me, and they were like, hey, we're going to use your video for our website. I'm like, no, you can't. You got to pay the right. I spent so much fucking money on this thing. And they were like, fuck you. We'll never allow you to come back, whatever. I was like, what?
You know they have a waiver now that says that anything filmed on the property they own?
It's probably because of me. Yeah.
It's funny because when I watched the Hyper 5, my first thought was this would be way better if Chris Harris was hosting.
Oh!
I'm completely kidding.
By the way,
no, I'm so
probably-
joking.
it
He
probably
is
would've
one
been.
of the
He's
greatest
incredible.
of all time for sure. But no. I'm so happy that you did that video, and
Because
it's
we
one of
know
my
each
favorite
other.
fucking YouTube videos ever.
I appreciate that.
And
Thank
then
you.
he ended up doing one himself too. That was a really good comparison between.
Oh
the
my God.
cars
And
as
by the
well.
way, his is
also one
like-
of the best YouTube videos ever.
Because
Yeah.
the thing is, my guy can drive like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I had to get a driver, and also for the sake of neutrality, I wanted to get a third party to do it.
Sure.
But Chris can drive like a motherfucker, and he knows how to express himself so well. He is my hero in this whole thing. So I'll always be grateful for Chris saying yes. I'll always be grateful for Chris sticking to his guns.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's what brought me to where I'm at.
No, I feel like
two
that worked
dudes,
out
one
perfectly.
car.
Yeah. What episode are we even on
So
right
this
now?
is one.
This is episode
and now,
one.
We're gonna cut this one. Go into your channel. So if you guys want to watch the second part, the episode two of this, we have a lot to discuss. There's a lot to discuss. Go on Parker's channel. Make sure to subscribe to Vehicle Virgins. The description is going to be down below. And make sure also in the description, we're going to put all of the show on Spotify, on iTunes, Google on Amazon, everything you can imagine. Poor Serge is going to have to deal with that. The links are going to be down below so you guys can watch it. Anything else you want to add before we go into the second episode?
I'm just excited to do this.
Fuck
I think,
yeah.
we've been waiting for this moment. And it's fun to just hang out and talk about cars. Yo.
It's right. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course it is.
No, it's good.
I appreciate you, dude. So thank you so much
Likewise.
for coming. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for agreeing. And we don't have a gun pointing at you.
You should have seen the waiver he made me sign before I came in the front door. It was crazy.
Exactly. It's like the thermal
Yeah.
one. All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one. And like we said, this second episode is going to come out in Parker's channel. So go check it out. And it's going to be before a week. We're trying to do 2 a week. So go in there, check it out. See you guys soon. Peace. 2 dudes, 1 car. Holy
Yeah.
shit.